Okay, namaste, everybody. Great to see you. Great to be here and share yoga together. So yes, we have a request for what yoga refers to as the Sushumna, the central channel. And that is the goal in yoga. That is really what we're talking about when you read deeply into the philosophy of yoga. Because in that central channel are where the main chakras reside, but even the subtle energy that's fueling our form, but also that's where the freedom lies. That's where we are free of duality. When we truly are in the Sushumna, we're not swung by the polarities, the dualities that this life is presenting over and over again. So you hit gold there by requesting work and focus on the central channel. So I'll do my best to keep reminding us to return to the central channel, to the Sushumna. And yoga teaches us a lot of things, but about healing, that's where the true healing is, because the root cause of our suffering is over-identification with only our body, only our personality. And when we tune into the reality of our soul, if you will, that's where the freedom is. And that's where we may have experienced moments of this, or maybe elongated experiences of this. And so you will start with the breath, with the focus on the Sushumna. So I'm going to scoot back a little bit, and we've decided we're going to be in Costa Rica today in the background. Probably not the 95 when we were there in April. Let's bring it down to that sweet 80 degrees. A little bit of rearranging going on here. Okay, have your props by your side, your blocks. And sitting comfortably, for me, that's could be on a folded up blanket, bolster, something a little bit higher so we can root down through our sit bones. I really feel from the pubic bone, the tailbone down, that root chakra, the first chakra. In fact, let's bring our peace fingers down too, to help stabilize and root down, to get that sense of grounding and safety and connection and security with Mother Earth. And our second chakra and third chakra, you can either place your hand, either solar plexus, third chakra, or the right use of power. Second chakra are creative, energetic, so many things, the water element of our body, the fluidity. You either place your hand on your belly or the third chakra, and the other hand on the fourth chakra, the heart, our capacity to love, to give, to forgive, to open, to attune. And of course, we're just closing the eyes now and just tuning into the breath. Hearing that sound. Last week, the focus was on diaphragmatic breathing, but every day the focus can be on diaphragmatic breathing, meaning the belly, the hand on the belly is going to get bigger than the hand on the heart when you inhale. We're drawing energy upward to the spiritual eye or the crown of the head, the 6 and 7 chakras. And we're tuning into the central channel. On the next inhale, whenever that is for you, let the belly expand. Feel that energy swirling upward through the Sushumna. Think of a hollow tube in what's called the astral spine around the physical spine. Focusing gently at the point between the eyebrows of the crown at the top of the inhale, and then letting that light, that healing power of spirit move through all the cells of the body. So breathing at your own pace, your own timing. Feeling the healing power of spirit moving through all the cells of the body, but especially now focusing on the central channel. And if you'd like to set an intention for what you'd like to receive, we're opening to it. We're letting that soul call happen. Notice what comes up for you. Maybe nothing comes up for you. That's fine too. Just keep tuning in and listening. And then we're going to bring our hands to the heart in our heart chakra, and then tap into our spiritual eye, tap into the crown, inhale, lengthen and grow. And then exhale, feel the space all around you. When the arms are wide, energy from the heart radiating out through the arms and the hands, twisting from the core to the left, floating the arms down, chin parallel. Exhale. Inhale, ease back a bit. Exhale, twist. Make sure that navel's drawing toward the spine as you twist. You don't have to look over your shoulder in that direction. One more time. Inhale, ease. Exhale, twist. Let the sound get bigger of the breath. So our inspiration, inspiration as we twist. When you break down the word inspiration, exhale. That is in spirit, breath, in spirit, breath connected to our spiritual nature that is already whole, already free, already aware. As you're pulsing back and forth, you're turning into the inspiration, in spirit, our physical body, tuning in more to the subtle energy, turning into the soul, the spirit, in spirit. Breathing in, diaphragmatic breathing, belly, heart, crown, beyond the crown, in spirit, draw in, letting that clear light of energy pour through and heal. That's where the true healing is. In this form, in this body. Okay, and now we're going to get into our flow pattern. Well, let's see what my neck just moved a little bit. Let's go with some small circles or the turtle extension of extending the chin around 3 times, and then the other. Right here to the right shoulder, left arm extended. Use your right hand to really open up the side of the neck. Sternocleidomastoid muscle, extend, and then root down through the fingertips. So we can get always that grounding, that stability, feeling the sit bones, whatever's connected to the earth, the legs, and in this case, the fingertips now, as we breathe and open. Maybe draw the chin up, maybe draw the chin down. And when you feel ready, switching, peace fingers or all the fingers extended, rooting down, the left hand comes up, easing the ear toward the shoulder, breathing into that right side of the neck, energy flowing, getting unstuck. So yeah, the physical body, we know if we have a lot of stuff going on. Opening to what we can, but we're tuning in to the openness that's here. It's inspiration, in spirit. And then lengthening up if you're ready for that. Then the head goes back, bring the lower lip above the upper lip. Stretch to the front of the throat, our throat chakra, 5th chakra, our expression, Reflecting on how the expression has been, ideally with compassion as we draw the knees in. We're going to go now into the whole body flow pattern. Again, have your props by your side. And we're going to, I'm going to use the blanket for my knees, even with carpet. I like it. Okay. We're going to do a cat prayer series. So wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, just going to flow side to side. You want to add a little bit of figure eight, you will certainly do that. Okay, fairly stable so that when we scoop out, you feel from the belly, the heart, the crown, inhale. And then on the exhale, the rounding. Drawing in space. We're going to take it even farther again. Knees go wider apart, stretch into a prayer pose. Honoring the wisdom of the heart, the spirit of the healing of the central channel. And when we're in the central channel, I should say, we are whole, there's much more spirituality. Rounded cat coming up. Draw the knees in a little bit more underneath the hips. Scoop it out one more time. Inhale. Gaze up. And then making sure your hands are on the mat. We're going to maybe take our first down dog of the day. Hover the knees off the ground. Magnetize the chest toward the thighs. And then tread it out. Pressing to one heel, and then the opposite. Stay with it, and we're going to focus on the affirmation. A little bit different than the classic affirmation that goes with this pose. The healing power of spirit is flowing through all the cells of my body. Get figurated if you want. The healing power of spirit is flowing through all the cells of my body. Press into the base of the fingers. You elongate the spine. Make small circles with the head. 2 times in each direction. Just really opening to the healing power of spirit flowing through all the cells of my body. Widen the toes and walk one foot forward, then the other, walk one hand and the other. I keep walking now. And then sometimes it's nice to make a fist here that's kind of line up our hip width apart. And you can see that. Okay. And it's a little closer than we might think. And then we again just shifting side to side, but allowing some fluidity of movement. But then we want to root and ground through the 4 points of the feet and bending the knees and sit bones reach back, protecting the spine, elongating, and strength as we inhale and reach up. Here, reaching up and coming off of the heels and feeling that grounding, that rooting and grounding as we come into our mountain pose. You can add the thumb index finger together, mudra. And the infinite spirit is here, but we're opening to receiving that through our individual self. You know, the individual self is used to being in the driver's seat and taking control. Now we're trying to bring the individual self into the back and the infinite spirit in front. That metaphor works for you. Anyone that works for you. Breathing in, breathing out. We're going to keep flowing, of course, continue to flow. That's just our basic warm up, getting into this vehicle of the body. And then we bring the hands to the belly, the heart, full belly breathing, diaphragmatic breathing. Yielding on the exhale into the earth. And then the next inhale from the belly, bring the hands to the heart, and we're going to go into a modified Surya Namaskar, Sun Salute, opening again and again to the dawning of a higher consciousness. That's in the upper chakras, and the 6th and 7th chakra especially. And then awakening of higher consciousness for all beings, not only our own self, but we're offering that extension to the dawning of higher consciousness for all beings as we tap into the spiritual eye, tap into the crown, lengthen and grow, add your back bend. A couple times here. A little more space, round and clear. Okay, and then swan dive forward. Swan dive forward. For now. We're forward, relaxing any unnecessary mental burdens. Like blood flow to the brain. And go out here. Okay, we're going to add our lunge. We're going to step our right foot back. Left foot forward, use blocks if you like. Lift the belly, heart, head on the inhale. And then exhale round. So as we round, we're pressing through that back heel. We're strong through that back leg and the front leg. Inhale, more flow. It's arcing, opening up. Exhale. Rounded cat spine, but strong through the legs. One more, inhale, open up. Now this time we come down on top of the knee, and this is where we unfreeze that the hips get so tight. So you can walk that left foot out using the roll into the little toe side of the foot, whatever feels good for you to open up your hips. Side to side. Pretty much like to do this every class. The hips get so tight. Undying, unfreezing that energy in the 1st and 2nd chakra. We want that creativity. We want that flow. We want that sense of really feeling safe and secure and stable. 1st and 2nd chakra, the lightness of our power. Okay, from here, walk the left foot in. We're going to turn the right toes under, and we're going to step it back into our plank. Make that strong line of energy, not collapsing anywhere. And then let's take one forearm down and the other. Couple breaths here. Strengthening all the muscles in the core. Strength is a part of the practice, as well as flexibility. And then tops of the knees touch, unfurling the toes, and then bending the elbows side to side, hydrating our shoulders, just like we did with our hips. We're hydrating our shoulders, scapula, elbows, wrists, joint spaces of the arms connected to the 4th chakra of the heart. And then before we rise up, let's take rest. Yoga is so good about the rest and digest, and then the activation. So resting at the spiritual eye, breathing, diaphragmatically, belly, ribs expand, heart expand. Settling, see if those shoulders could soften more, or anywhere in your body could soften more on the exhale. Take several breaths here, luxuriate in the rest and digest phase. Consciously breathe Consciously rest throughout our day. That will bring us into this moment, present moment awareness. Okay, and get set up for our Bhujangasana series or locust. So you decide. We'll start out with the arms by our side in the locust, palms down. Inhale, legs lift up. Inhale, upper body lifts up. Pulse it up. And then exhale, ease a little bit down, not all the way. You can stay with your arms, hands touching, or you can bring them out to the side. Super person pose, easing down. Then maybe, maybe not. You decide with the arms out front. Inhale, pulse it up. Exhale, ease. One more. Inhale, pulse, stretch. Exhale, ease. To set up for our Cobra, Bhujangasana, rising upward, pressing through the feet, legs strong, either here, on the knees, lifting or off the knees, stick out the tongue. Opening all the chakras, especially the throat chakra. Open to meet this day. Open to meet this day moment to moment. All right, now knees touch down. Remember that flow we did earlier? So we take a moment in our cat, walk the hand back and then the other around the cat. Inhale, knees wider, stretching out into prayer. Really feel the pulsation of the breath and the energy in the central channel. Feel from the tailbone through the crown. And then round it up. You're hitting that entire area. Well, I had to tell you that you can have focus on that throughout every pose. Exhale, round. And the flexibility. Now the neutral stability as we come back to our down dog before we transition to the lunge to the other side. So we hover. Report back. Pressing into the base of the fingers. And affirming the healing power of spirit radiates through every cell of my body, every fiber of my being. The healing power of spirit radiates through every cell of my body, every fiber of my being. Now let's add a little bit of a twist to our down dog. We're going to lift our heels. And we're going to turn our toes to the left. Egyptian feet, and then you're reaching your chest back toward the thighs. And see what happens when you reach your right arm a little bit more forward. And feel how you stretch the right side of the body even more. Adding a twist here. Just a couple breaths. And then walk your right hand back. You guessed it, lift the heels up. Turn and to the toes to the right. And then pour your chest toward your thighs. Maybe extend that left arm a little bit more forward. And feel the deeper stretch on that left side. So yoga works so well with the solar lunar. This is a lunar more extended on the left, on the right, the solar. And then we walk that hand back. And we come back to the central channel. All the cells are vibrating and opening, but we're tuning in as we open left and right to the central channel. You could just make soft ripple movements or be stable. See what your body wants to do. And we're going to inhale, look at the hands. Draw the right knee in. You may have to lift, I have to lift up my wrist a little bit. You can step, 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 or giant step forward. Reach your blocks, angle over. We'll do that pulsing lunge again. So inhale when you're ready. Belly, hard head lifts, inhale. And then as we exhale with that rounded cat spine, we're reaching back to that left heel. Now the dawning of higher consciousness for others. Bring others to the mat. Inhale, opening the heart. Opening the prayer of care for someone else. And then reach back to the heel. One more time. Inhale. Open up. Higher consciousness coming on top of the left knee, walking that right foot out. I like to bring the right hand in. You decide what you'd like to do to get the flow from side to side. I also like to roll onto the little toe side of my right foot. Feel a deep hip opener and cleansing happening here. Now you could bring one forearm down and the other. I like that too, but I find I don't get as much flexibility of opening in the hips when I do that. That's more like a stabilizing pose. Okay. Walking, turning the back toes under, walking the right foot in, and the hand by the little toe side of the foot. And then from here, what we're going to do is we're going to go into one more flow series. So we step it back into our plank. Well, we'll keep flowing, not just one more. Spin pose, step the right foot to the outside of the mat, and then back to center. Left foot to the outside of the mat, back to center. You can also go on your knees, of course. Then, if possible, one forearm down and the other. Couple breaths. Good. It's good if the belly is shaking. And then on top of the knees and lifting into a mini cobra here. Sphinx pose. Before we retreat, rest and digest. So let ourselves, you can turn your head to the other side or rest at the spiritual eye. Take your time to feel the fullness of the breath, connected to the earth. Imagine those lotus petals of the chakras opening up. We're watering them, we're tending to them, we're giving them nutrients. If any area feels a little bit stuck or jammed, there's then an ongoing physical tension there. Breathe into it, send feeling light and energy to that area, that chakra. And you can also feel the flow through the central channel. So the next inhale, think of not only the belly, but the root chakra, all the way up, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, to the crown, beyond the crown. And then drawing back down again. The highway of the spine, okay? We're going to rise up in our cobra, and any variation you like. Hands by your side, underneath the shoulders, legs strong, press through the tops of the feet. Inhale, rising up. Lion's breath. Couple times, 2 or 3 times. Excellent. And then let the knees touch if they're not already. Knees wider than the hips. Rest in prayer. Rest in prayer pose. Again, you could think of others you could send a prayer to, one or two, or the more than the country, the world as a whole. And completing the flow, rounding up, hands, wrists like under, knees underneath the hips, rounded cat. Scooping out, inhale. Neutral spine, we come back to our full body stretch, downward facing dog. And lifting the knees off, pulling back. The healing power of spirit radiates through every cell of my body, every fiber of my being. And then we step one foot forward, then the other, and walk the hands back. If you can, bring the palms of the hands underneath the soles of the feet. That could be a lot. And if possible, you can bend your knees, rocking side to side. Or if that doesn't work, resting the palms at the hollows of the elbows. Relaxing and casting aside any unnecessary mental burdens. Big exhale sounds, letting go. And of course, we let go, we take more space. And sit bones back, chair pose, Uttanasana. We'll pulse here a little bit. Divine compassion. Exhale, release the unnecessary stress. Inhale, open nose, open to a quality of spirit, which in the yoga world, there's 7 main ones. I'll name a few to see light, opening to light, peace, exhale, release the tensions. Inhale, love, wisdom, joy as we lift up. Pick a divine quality we'd like to tune into. And really feel that quality growing. You can bring your hands in Eagle Heart Mudra, or we could do the Lotus Mudra. That, with your hands into the heart. Breathing in that quality. Okay. You get a drink of water, and we'll continue now with a balanced pose. So this is a little different than I usually teach. It's a prep for dancer. If you feel so inclined to go into dancer, go ahead. But I'm really getting the focus is the beginning prep for dancer. And so you can have your wall or chair by your side. We're going to root down through the 4 points of the feet. When we get stabilized, that left foot. Look at a point in front of you and lift the right knee off the ground and rotate that ankle. Right here, of course, we're in the balance pose. Okay. And now sweep that foot back, the right foot back. I'm going to reach toward my ankle. You're trying to draw that knee down. Engaging the inner, all the thighs very active, both thighs. Now you could stay here or lift the left arm up. Now, if you're inclined to move forward, but I'm just going to keep here myself. As I move through life, I'm anchored in my divine self. As I move through life, I'm anchored in my divine self, or I could return back to it. So 3, 2, 1. Lift that knee up and then plant that foot down. Good one. circle around. See, next time I didn't look at the screen because I was looking down at the ground, but that's quite a bit just to do the prep, right, for the dancer, for the dancer pose. Again, if you're so inclined to take it into full expression, you're certainly welcome to do that, not Therese asana. Of course, rooting down through that right foot, or points of the feet, looking at a point in front of you. Lifting the left knee up, rotating the ankle. The chair or the wall by your side, sweeping that left foot back. I reach out to the side to grab and then realign, trying to get the thigh to thigh, the knee to knee, tailbone down. You may want to stay here or lift that right arm up. As I move through life, I'm anchored in my divine self. To return back once I realize I'm out through the breath, through affirmation, the power of attention, tuning into the central channel, especially the upper chakras, connecting belly to heart. So I move through life, I'm anchored in my divine self. Okay, release. Take your time if you can. It's okay. And then step down, swirl around again. I'm going to bring the arms a little bit higher, shoulder width. And then let's do, I'm going to grab my phone. Let's do a 60 seconds of shaking. Now you could do this for several minutes or even 5 minutes. So no one's watching you, just shake, lift your heels, shake your arms. Just let yourself vibrate and release energy. So I'm looking at my phone to see the time of about a minute here of shaking. Very beneficial for releasing stuckness. Make sound if you want. That's it. Better check. See, feels like a long time a minute. It hasn't even been a minute yet. You don't like shaking, you could do, squeezing. So, okay, that's a minute. Very good. All right. Okay, we're going to do a side stretch here because we've done forward and back. We've done a balance. We're going to do our friend taking our block. Trikonasana, stepping wide. I like to bring the block in the front. You can bring it by the little toe side of the foot. It's up to you. Left toes pointing out to the side. Right foot 30 degrees. You know this. We flow. In the heart chakra. Notice and reflect how you've been feeling. Has it been crunchy? Has it been protective? Looking open. Now, am I okay now? Am I safe now? Yes. So opening up. And stretching over out to the side. Keep open through that left hip. Don't collapse into it. In other words, sliding the hand down, maybe the hand lightly on the block, stacking those shoulders, head to tail connected. There it is again and again, head to tail. You want to use that as a reference point throughout the practice for every day. Where's my head and tail? Is it connected? Opening up, and you know the affirmation on this one, you could stay stable or add the utthita, the circular arm. Energy and joy fill my body cells. Energy and joy fill my body cells. Joy is one of the qualities of the divine. Energy and joy fill my body cells. Engage those thighs. That's it. Look down over that left shoulder, bending The left knee transitioning, tracking, you can bring that right arm down, tracking the left knee over the second toe as you lift the left arm up, opening up with that knee drawing back, left knee drawing back for the transition. Just important as the pose. Okay. All right. Coming up, I'm going to bring my block over. Get set up with the right toes facing out to the side. Right. Under a palm tree in Costa Rica, so I'm getting a little shade. Expansive. Some monkeys. Must be either sunrise, sunset when they come out. Okay, and here we go. We get our flow. We open up. Some mangoes. Picking, reaching over and engaging, keeping open through that right hip. And down, stacking the shoulders, tracking, noticing the head to tail connection. So that means usually drawing the chin in a little bit in this pose. And feeling the energy and joy. Fill my body cells. Energy and joy. Take your time, fill my body cells, or go at your pace, of course. It feels right to you. Maybe do reflect on a place on the beach, water, sand, amazing abundance of life as then we can bring this arm around as we're coming down. I like to bend that right knee, track it over, transition, lifting the right arm up. Keep dragging that right knee for the little toe side of the foot, opening up the side body. Thank you, body, for what you can do. And then coming back. And we can't help go into a Prasarita Padottanasana here, right? It's in the leg pose, because we're all set up for it. Toes turn in, hands to the heart, opening those divine qualities of light, wisdom, love, peace, joy, with one or several, opening the heart, hinging forward. What do we not let go of? Knuckles to the sky, crown of the head to the earth. Fears, doubts, worries, what we can't control. You can be stable or shake the head gently. If it's too much for the inner lock, use a strap. You'll take your hands and slide them down the sides of the legs. Inhale, elongating spine. And then from here, our hands are going to, wrists are underneath the shoulders. We're going to pivot. Be able to pivot in life, right? We lift, be careful of the knees. We lift the heels, and we're coming down onto that right knee and that left foot. The right toes are turned under. So we're coming down into prep for our half camel. Ustrasana. So it wasn't just you would just get there how we can get there. Sometimes the pivots aren't that smooth, right? Sometimes they're going off, but we can come back. Come back. All right, tailbone down. Another back bend, or we did the cobra back bend. So you can either bring your hands at the back of the thigh or the block, and then the left arm reaches up and the hips come forward. Several breaths in Ardha Ustrasana, half camel. With calm faith, I open to the light. light is a quality of the divine. With calm faith, I open to the light. Several breaths here if you can. It's big. Oh, yes, I forgot. If you can reach your heel, go ahead and reach your heel. With calm faith, I open to the light. Now we're going to inhale and come back up. Before we go to the other side, we're going to take a hair pose. We're going to just, that's a very yang pose, of course, a very solar pose. Now we're going to go very lunar. Contain. We're going to take a moment. When we curl down in hair pose, we want to ideally bring our forehead toward our knee. You can bring a blanket if it's hard. So when we come down like this, if your head's off the ground, use a bolster or a blanket. Make contact. So this is hair pose. And we feel the space on that central channel between each vertebra. And we're going to go into an even deeper by holding onto our heels. The chin is tucking, we're rolling onto the top of the head if possible. So it looks like this. Heels draw in. And we open even more the space between each vertebra. And we're resting on the top of the head. And an interesting affirmation here. I am master of my body. I am master of myself. I am master of my body. I am master of myself. We turn into our higher self, and we tune into our higher self. That's where the mastery is. You have a guru or spiritual teacher you align with, bring them in. Universal love. Breathing deeply. Now there's a lot of compression here on our internal organs on purpose to do the opposites of the camel and the hair pose. Slow coming up. Sasana, lengthening up. Take a moment, there could be a head rush going on there from the blood flow to the brain. A lot to sit like this, I realize that. Make it work for you as we go to camel to the other side. So I'll go over this way. So we're going to bring our right foot forward. Left toes turn under. Rock by the side. Okay. Set it up. Tailbone draws down. And what we're going to do is bring our hand toward the block or the back of the thigh or by the heel as that right arm reaches up, hips come forward. With calm faith, I open to the light. With calm faith, I open to the light. Incredibly solar opening that light of the spiritual eye, just like the sun out there, that light is shining within us and all around us. I open to the light. And then we come back. That's a lot. Okay, transition as best as possible back first to seated. Or any variation that works for your body. Not all poses work for everybody. You know that. And knees down into hair pose, Sasana. Down, tuck the chin. Down, go down on the blanket this time. Resting the forehead or the hairline, tucking the chin. We'll rock a little bit side to side. The head ease side to side. And then stabilize for holding on to the heels, tucking the chin quite a bit to the hollow at the throat, rolling out to the back of the head. Several breaths here, it's hard to talk. I am master of my body, I'm master of myself. And then the spiritual teachers, wisdom figures, to transfer that wisdom through time and space. And who are currently here on the planet as well as within our higher self. So it's time to come out, ease down, and we rest. But so we untuck that chin lock, that throat lock it's called, and release side to side. Really great for opening all the chakras, especially that throat by the chin going when it was in the hollow there of the neck. That's a bandha, it's called. And whenever we bandha, wherever we kind of squeeze at a certain area of the body that energizes that area, then it releases that area. Yeah. So as we go up, if you're feeling like your certain chakra is blocked, you could do a lot of yoga poses, which is great, or a couple of yoga poses, or you can just really charge that area with a certain pose and then feel the release, or you can, I don't get too complicated on this, but you can do a lot of things to open it by a squeezing and a tensing of that particular area, for example. Before we release our back, let's take a moment here. So the root chakra going down below the pubic bone and squeezing at the, like you're going to the bathroom, okay? So you're like squeezing there, tense, 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 hold the energy there. Vibrate with energy. It's called Mula Bandha, root lock. And then release. And you could do that. You could do like a tensing and charging there. Okay. Do that with all the chakras is what I wanted to transmit to you. One more, again, not making this too complicated. We could tense that particular area, or we could do a movement with it. Like for example, the throat chakra. This is a very great opener. Typically this is done standing, but we can do it seated. When we inhale, the arms come up and frame the face. And then as we exhale, we use that sound out. Forearms come together and down. Do it one more time. Inhale. Head goes back, exhale through the mouth. Chin parallel. So those were just, I think, really tap into the root chakra, I think really tap into the throat chakra. With the throat chakra, we had a movement. With any of the chakras, we can add bandhas. We can add squeeze and lock and then open. So we tense and then we open. Make a note to do that, and there's Shavasana coming next. All right, let's release the back. And a little more drink of water here. We're gonna graduate. Well, first, back to a close to seat as we ease down. Okay. So if you're not there already, we're tucking the tailbone. Low back, mid back, upper back, thrust to the feet. Reach the arms overhead. And feel the space all around you. And hug those knees in. Gazing side to side. Now we did figure 4 last week. We're going to do a variation of this. Have your strap by your side. So we're going to draw our left foot down, our right knee in toward our shoulder. Rotate the ankle, massaging the ascending colon. And then bringing our foot, flexing through. Now the difference here that last week we kept the left knee bent. I am inviting you to extend, maybe put a strap around it first, the ball of the left foot. And using your right elbow to draw that knee away, or you can grab onto the toe, you can reach behind the thigh, reach behind the calf, whatever works for you. As we breathe and be in our hip opener, and our hamstring opener, and our spine releasing, okay, head to tail. How's your head to tail doing? Root chakra through the crown. We're supported now in the literally in the back body on the earth, the physical spine. But yoga is more and more tuning into the subtle energy, and then ultimately the soul, because the suffering is when we're only identified with our physical form and our personality. Much more than that. Eternal soul. Hatha yoga is a pathway to go deeper, and then the pranayama, the breath, is more, goes even more and more so. And then we're going to slowly release that strap, and then see if you can simultaneously lower. As that left leg lowers, that right foot comes out, we interlock again and stretch back to where we started, okay? And then we add our twist. And go out a little bit. Placing our right foot on the left thigh or on the ground and shifting the hips to the right, the left hand. We know this eases over, back and forth. Hydrating all those internal organs. Find a place where you could stay here a little while as the arms radiate out to the side, the heart opens, and we just allow. Let's see, what arm do you want to flow over? Let's take our opposite arm. The left arm comes up and over. Divine life is within me and all around me. Reaffirming what we've been talking about. Divine life is within me and all around me. We're talking about, but hopefully feeling and sensing into, much more important than talking about. As we come out, plant that foot, swivel the hips, draw that knee in, extend the right leg up, and here we go. Simultaneously, shoulders plugged in, take your time to stretch the arms overhead. When that right heel touches, stretch to the right arm, the right leg, especially, and just melt and relax and feel. Especially that right side. That solar energy. Roll down and let's bring it together. Breathing in through the central channel. When we do the left, we really feel how those unions of opposites melt into the freedom of the central channel. When you're ready, bending both knees. Same thing on the other side. Fold that left knee in and rotate the left foot a few times. Opening into that figure four hip, drawing, flexing through the left foot, using a strap, or you can have a knee bend. I'm encouraging a hamstring opening here with either the strap or reaching behind your calf, your thigh, or maybe testing the toe. Using your left elbow to keep opening through the hip as we breathe and breathe. Releasing the hamstring, opening the hip, and then grounding through that central channel of the spine. Tail to head, connected with every breath. Tune in. Feeling of tuning into the power of spirit radiating through every cell of your body, every fiber of your being. And transition slowly. So we start to lower, and as that right leg slowly lowers, it's a core engagement, the left foot unhinges. Now we're back to our knee, to our shoulder, massaging the descending colon, moving into this here. And then taking it into our twist, I like to plant that left foot down, swivel the hips to the left, use the opposite hand to ease back and forth. Big exhales. And then once we're stable, stabilizing somewhat with the lower body, we open up the heart even more, and we sweep the opposite arm, the right arm up, over. The left, you can, whatever you didn't do on the other side. Divine life is within me, all around me. Whatever I'm supposed to do. Divine life is within me and all around me. Maybe that feels true to you now. Maybe you're working toward that truth through the way. Affirming that as we ease on out, plant the foot, swivel, holding the left knee in, extending the left leg up. Arms reach up, shoulders plug in, palms face one another simultaneously, stretching, stretching, stretching. On the left heel touches, stretch with that left arm, left leg, left side of the torso, inner side. And then completely relax and soften, wide Shavasana, or just feeling before we move into Polar Shavasana, the inner side. And as you're getting ready for Shavasana, this is where the central channel, I mean, we're working with it throughout the practice, but where we can really feel perhaps once you get settled in, on guidance to the belly, to the hand, to the heart connection, where the two become one, the solar lunar come into deep Shushumna. So if that means staying where you're at, or put your feet on a wall, or legs up the wall, whatever feels right to you. We go into a deep shavasana. I'll get set up for it as well. Receptive in our rest. We're really working on receptivity in our restoration. Rest and digest is another way to say it. All right. So as the subject, the focus of our class is the central channel, the Sushumna. We're going to place one hand on the belly, the other hand on the heart, and really feel that central channel. Or perhaps visualize it as a hollow tube wrapping around the spine, spacious, healing, vibratory light wrapping around the spine. I'm going to start by tensing into the root chakra, squeezing and soaking there, tense, 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 tense. And just let yourself soften. Relaxing the legs, the cheeks, the thighs, the knees, calves, ankles, soles of the feet. Second chakra, draw the navel toward the spine, tense, tense, tense. Creativity, sensuality, expression, water flow. First is earth chakra, now we need water. And then when you're ready to soften, soften and allow energy to flow. Feeling the intercostal spaces of the ribs expanding, and the belly, of course, and the low back. Okay, solar plexus in that soft place above the navel. And can tense into that area, supercharge it, our right use of power. Empowerment of our tensing, we want to energize it and then soften and not powering over, of course, not powerless. That empowerment, our own alignment, helping others. Then moving into the chest, the heart area. Sometimes it helps to tense the arms as well. This is connected to the heart chakra. When you're ready, short to long, inhale and tense. Hold the breath, vibrate with energy. We think of recharging when we tense, and then we relax. And we can feel the flow more as we relax, that unconditional love, light. So much is going on with the heart chakra, caring. Those opposites could be happening, but this is where we realign again and connect and resource. Now the throat chakra, we draw the chin to the hollow in, tense, tense, tense. Vibrate with energy. Hold the breath as long as you can. And then exhale and soften. Maybe even easing the head from side to side, reflecting on how you have been communicating. So much in psychology is understanding our feelings that are connected to our needs, and that we can communicate those, and we can also hear those from others. Just reflect how the expression has been, ideally expressing feelings and needs non-violently in the request. And then being there for others in that communication as well. Softening the jaw, softening the eyes. Let the eyelids get heavy. Just focus at the point between the eyebrows, the spiritual eye. Literally, again, the two become one, non-duality. The light of higher consciousness. You could tense into that. You could double breath and tense into that area. Energize it, vibrate it. Open through the crown as well. Reminds you of the 6th and 7th at the same time. And then softening, feel or visualize the crown of the head opening. Sky, sun, moon, stars, vast expanse of space. If returning, if you drift off to the breath in the central channel, the healing power of spirit is flowing through all the cells of my body. I am made of universal, divine substance. Healing power of spirit is flowing through all the cells of my body. I am made of universal, divine substance. You are the soul eternal, already whole, already free, already aware. Resting in the truth of your nature. Just notice if you'd like to continue to rest in Shavasana Or if you'd like to return to movement gradually at your own pace and timing. Maybe wiggling the fingers and toes and resting on your side. And no matter what the position, you can send healing prayers to others by visualizing them. See who comes to your spiritual eye. With a 3-syllable Om sound that contains the sound of creation. Maybe rubbing your hands, maybe not. See what feels right to you as you slowly inhale. And bringing the hands into Namaste, acknowledging that divine awareness, that divine consciousness within you and within everyone and everything. That's where we are one. As we bow to the wisdom of our hearts, letting it lead the way into our day, into our week, into our lives. And I will stop the official